Um, this would be by like yet another Air Force
Analogy.
analogy here. But like for for some people, that kind of a visualization might come in as like you don't want to go there. Like
Mm.
for most people, it would be why you want to visualize the positive kind of things. You don't want to visualize dying, losing health. But as you were explaining this, and since you've already lived that experience, which helped you, and this is something that we do uh, in the Air Force, like the first thing in the morning. I used to joke that we guys are like exactly opposite of what normal people are. Like when you get up in the morning and you say, yeah. So when you get up in the morning, the normal people would say, "Oh God, let the day be as wonderful as it could be," or the version thereof. Positive visualization. And here we go in the morning. We bring up a crew up on the stage in front of the entire gathering that is there of the air crew that is there, and we say, okay, so you're airborne for such and such mission, and there's that, and uh, you have an engine failure, or you have a fire breaking out.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
your engine fails, or you
Oh,
have uh, like you get attacked in this particular thing. What is it that you're going to do?
okay. You're practicing a worst case scenario in that moment, right?
Yeah, so every day you invent something. Okay, this is the scenario, and this is something that goes down. And what do you do? And that kind of practice actually has us, revise those drills like in
For
real
the worst
time.
scenario, so that when it actually happens, you actually have a plan. You
Yeah.
have a
So
plan and
now
you
you
know
don't.
how it's going to come out. And so I think the right time. Like we need both, right? Like you also need
Yeah.
that positive attitude, because if you're gonna like if you're thinking, I suppose, if you're like doing the job that you're doing, and you get up in the morning and you think, oh, I'm probably not gonna survive today, so what's the point of it
Hmm.
anyway, kind of thing, then you're not gonna get anywhere, or most likely gonna get killed, right? Because you don't have that drive. So on one hand, you want to have that positive attitude towards life, and the positive idea of, that you're gonna survive, and you're gonna have a good day or a successful day or whatever that is. But on the other hand, you also want to make sure that you have strategies in place before something really terrible happens, right? And I think that's why so many people are so unhappy, just from suffering a little, like, quote unquote, a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We're having, yeah, a stressful job, annoying kids, annoying husband, whatever, like, or maybe like we're not in one with ourselves, and we make it such a big deal, and we don't want to worry about or think that a loved one would die, for example. Like, why would I imagine that my partner could be dead tomorrow morning? Well, it's like, well, because he could. Like, he
Yeah.
literally could. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do when he actually did die? you
Yeah.
know? Like, don't you think you would be better prepared for it if you have thought of it before? Don't you think that your life, I'm not saying you're not going to grieve, I'm not saying that something's going to be missing from your life, but you're most likely going to be much more functional and healthy and well in your heart after your partner died or passed away or transitioned than than you would if you never practiced it, right?
Yeah.
And we forget so much how quickly somebody can be gone. And by us visualizing that fact isn't gonna make them disappear faster than they must, right? Because I believe when our time has come, our time has come. It doesn't matter how healthy you lived, it doesn't matter how toxic you were. That's probably maybe gonna put a little bit of a, but I no, I believe that if it is your time, you're gonna pass on, and it's gonna find a way to get you there. Be that when you walk, like be that when you fly your airplane and something goes really bad and you crash. Be that because you shower and you stumble and you smack your head on the robinette.
As simple as that.
Whether I just crossed the street, even though I looked 10 times left and right, and in that moment when I walk, some asshole comes around the corner and shoots into me. Like anything can happen
So
any time, no matter how careful you are, right? And nothing can happen even though you were not careful at all whatsoever. So where's the control there, right? So yeah, anyway, and I think if more people would dare or would acknowledge the fact that sometimes seeing also the most or the worst case scenario would actually bring them more joy in their life, because you would be able to be more present in every moment. If you would think every day that your partner potentially could be gone the next day, like how would you live today? Right?
yeah.
What would you do? How would you interact with this person? What would you say? And so I think it can have a whole, like a huge potential power on the way that we live. But yeah, I see it's not for everyone, and definitely not for someone like at the very beginning or in a, I don't even want to say in a very depressed mode, but I guess that's a tricky one with psychological issues. But for me, yeah, it was in a moment of deep depression when I started doing these visualizations of just like, let's just wrap this up for today and see what's going to be tomorrow, if there's going to be tomorrow. And Corona gave me a good opportunity because we literally, right, like death was so present.
Yeah.
And that should, but that's what like freaks me out. That makes me like, blows my mind how people even in that time didn't really see the full potential and power of having death so close and so daily. We were still
Yeah.
afraid, or like everybody's afraid, and everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna stay home, I'm gonna close up and just worry, rather than easing into experience and actually seeing that life threat as a, like, okay, let's live at least the last couple of days or month or whatnot, how much we have, right? Yeah.